Hi guys, welcome back. Sunderland RTG. We're into season 2, so we got promoted and we're into the championship now. So we've gone into the next season. I've already gone into, or we've accepted a pre-season. I am going to change things up from what I'd normally do in pre-season. I've called up like all our youth from the first year, so we're going to give them a chance to see who we want to keep and who we don't really, who we think is going to have some chance to play in our team. I think that's going to be a good way of doing it in pre-season. Just play a couple of games with obviously the new team. We look at the finances. We have only got a budget of 12, just under 13 million. So if we adjust the budget a little bit, 27,000 in the budget, we're still looking just about over 12.5 million. So not a huge budget. We look at the notifications. I have sent the scouts out. So I sent a scout out to France for 3 months, and then a 9-month to England. If we look at the objectives, we've already completed one, which is just sign one of the youth players in the youth academy. That was just, we've had a raft of new youngsters come in, and the second one, obviously sign one youth player to the senior team. That should be easy enough, and you only have to play them in 5 games. So again, we've already got four new youth players that we'll have a look at later. Brand exposure, 5.4 in earnings. Hopefully, obviously, with Madger coming in, and then we're also going to look at a few more signs. So we'll talk about those in a minute. And the long term, within 3 seasons, increase the club worth. Again, we shouldn't have any problem with that as long as we keep getting promoted, things like that. So what the board are looking for this year in the championship is finish mid-table. So I'd be happy with mid-table. Obviously we got promoted, we did well last year. I'm not expecting promotion again in this first year really. We're not going to go crazy and buy massive amounts of players. We're going to be using the youth and obviously the players that we've already got. FA Cup reached the round of 32. Again, we'll do this as we did last year really, is put a lot of emphasis into it in the first couple of rounds just to get to that round of 32, and then depending on who we get and how we are in the league, obviously that will dictate how much we take that seriously. Nothing for the Continental. But we have a quick look. So in our youth academy, so we've got Charlie Murphy that's still in there. He's the only one from last year that we've not called up yet. I'm not really sure about him, that's why, because he's still only 56 rated, not really progressed as we would have liked. He's got a potential of 81 to 87, so he's still got some potential there, and he's only 16, so not terrible. And then these are the new players. So we've got Elliot Cox, he's a 16, so his overall's not great, potential's okay at the minute. I think mainly is because he's a 6'6", left-footed centre back. Potentially could do a job for us in there. He's quite good at jumping, acceleration's quite good, so stamina's okay. So he's maybe see how he goes. Again, we've got another left-footed centre back here. He's a little bit smaller, but ratings, our overall's a little bit better, so maybe potential there. Joseph McDonald, again another left-footed centre back. His potential's quite high, so 82 to 94, so he's definitely got something there, but again overall not the greatest start really. So we'll just see how these go. Peter Farrell is a left back. He's got a good potential. His overall's a little bit better. looking a bit more well-rounded. And then we have a centre mid. Obviously, we've had issues with Dobson. He's still requesting a transfer, and I think I'm not really sure. I've not had it in a game before where obviously the board have got involved saying you need to sell him, or do you mean give him a new contract, but we can't give him a contract. So I don't know if the board will get involved, and actually that'll be how we'll get sacked or something if we don't sort something out. So I do think if we do get another offer, I think we are going to have to maybe lower our valuation a little bit and maybe look to sell him if you don't want to stay. So if we have a quick look, so this is what our team's going to look like at the moment. I think I'm actually going to change these round. So I'm going to put our Scout Future Star in to start. Peters. So we'll give Peters the start, and then because obviously Simonson, he's another good youngster. But I think just because obviously we can have Gooch then coming in from that left wing on his right foot, and then we'll have Peters coming in on the right with his left foot. So he's not got a good right foot though. He's obviously all left-footed, but I think obviously we'll see who we can get the best out of with those two new wingers. Yeah, so we've put Jackson now up to 72 rated, so he's looking good. Obviously Madger's come in 73, good stats, so we're hoping he can hit the ground running. And then yeah, so at the minute we've got Denver Hume, because obviously Declan John has gone back, as well as Bailey Wright, so they're a couple of players we've put on the transfer list. So we will look to buy them back. Obviously Wagnerman has come in as well. He can play out on that left side as well. So as I say, even though Wagnerman is better rated than 09 at the minute, so he's already up to 69 rated, I think we will keep Luke O'Nien obviously as the starter, and then we'll possibly change them around later on. But again, it's going to depend if we do get Declan John back, because if we don't get Declan John back, then obviously Wagnerman will be pretty much the backup for both left and right back, so we will get a lot of game time. Bailey Wright, we'll possibly bring him in. Again, Tommy Smith's done a decent job out on that left side and is left-footed as well, which I prefer. Where if we did get Bailey Wright back, then obviously he's going to have to come in probably for Smith. So I'm not really sure. We'll see if we can get him in first, and then the rest of the team, as we can see. So yeah, if we have a quick look, so we'll save that. Have a quick look into the squad hub first, so we can get an idea of what players we have now. So obviously we have McLaughlin and Sonny Layton. I think we will actually. So McLaughlin, he should keep his ratings for a while, so we are going to look to improve his contract. So he's on 4,300. I think obviously we don't want to give him that much money, so if we try at 6, it's only 1 year though, so it's not enough. So if we try and negotiate, obviously we need him to at least take a 2-year contract. He's already got a year contract left on, so obviously important is fine. He's going to be getting a lot of first team football still. So if we look to try and get a 3-year contract, So at least if we can get him onto a 1-year contract. So at least if we can get him onto a 2-year contract, then it gives us a bit of breathing room. So it's actually dropped his price down, that's good. Clean sheets, 15 clean sheets. I think he did get probably 15 last year, but obviously it's going to be probably a bit harder, so I think we counter and edit the bonus to be 20 clean sheets. Hopefully I'll accept that, and he does. So pretty much on the same amount of money really, and we're going on that extra year, so yeah, that's fine with McLaughlin. So McLaughlin and Sonny Layton are our 2 main goalkeepers. So Layton is now obviously same rated, so he will get in some more game time. We may have to improve his contract as well to keep him happy. Henriksen, he's obviously, I'm not really sure whether to try and loan him out or just keep him as a 3rd keeper for this season. Maybe if we do get a loan offer come in, we could possibly loan him out. But so at the moment, Denver Hume is our main left back. Willis is fine. Tommy Smith is into his last year, so we may probably only keep him for this year anyway, really, Tommy Smith. But obviously we'll see how much game time he gets. Ozturk is very unhappy at the moment, so he could possibly leave still. Jack Baldwin, he needs a new contract. So Baldwin currently on 3,600, so we'll try and delegate him a new contract. So we'll offer, say, 6.5, 3 years, happy with that. So Baldwin now onto a new contract, so we're happy with that. Wagnerman, so they're going to be battling out for right backs. Josh Scowen, Max Power, Sam Nutt, we take him off the loan list now. So we still can't do anything with him. Got Harrison Alexander. George Dobson's obviously still unhappy and we can't do anything about it. And Barley Mumba now 62, so obviously if Dobson does go, then it just gives us more chance to get Barley Mumba into some more games. We've got Embleton as well. I think we will offer him a new contract, so he's 21 years old, 63 rating, so I think he's going to be potential for in the future. So he's on 1.6 at the minute, so maybe offer him 2.3. There's 2.9 for 4 years rotation, happy with that. So Embleton will get a new contract. Ethan Robson, so he's 63 rated and older, so he's already 23, so I'm not thinking that he's gonna get much game time, so I think I will. So he is on the transfer list already. Harvey Allen, again, we'll see how he goes in these. So we've got Allen and Roberts, both can play in that cam, centre mid, kind of also strikers. So we'll see how these go in these. That's what these pre-season games are going to be about, giving these youngsters a game to see if they're going to be usable really. Duncan Watmore, some Gooch. So at the minute, a lot of players are unhappy with their contracts at the minute, so we may have to offer new contracts. Obviously we come up division, so a lot of them will be demanding a bit more money, you would think. Obviously these 2 wingers, both potential to be special, Simonson and Peters, so we've got to give them some game time to try and boost them up. Will Grigg, I'm thinking that obviously Madger isn't about a main striker. I'm thinking that Danny Loader is going to be a backup striker rather than playing him in that cam utilise his pace more up front. I think Will Grigg, I think we'll keep him unless we go an offer in for him. I'm not going to transfer list him because obviously we're still going to need some players as backup really, but I think Will Grigg probably will play less and less as we go along. Danny Loader will be getting more game time as a striker rather than that cam. So now if we have a quick look at the transfers then. So like I say, we're looking initially at so Bailey Wright obviously is 27 years old, is 71 rated. Obviously he's at Bristol, he's gone back to Bristol City, but in real life Sunderland are actively looking at taking Bailey Wright, so I'm thinking he would be a decent transfer. He's on £21,000 a week though, that's maybe the sticking point. So as we say, we wanted to really, so if we just come back out really and have a quick look at, so financially we don't want to go crazy with our, as we said at the beginning, we don't want to be breaking our wage structure. So Madja is obviously our highest paid at 9,400. So there is a lot of players that are unhappy with their contracts, so I'm expecting that will go up. A lot of these players will want more money, but as we can see, it's not many that's more than 5 or 6 grand, so you'd only really think 10 grand maybe to push 12, something like that. So unless Bailey Wright is going to take a big wage cut, I don't think we can't really pick him up. So that may be a transfer that we can't actually proceed with, but we'll go in for him, obviously try and get a good deal. And so he's 1.9, so if we try and buy him, we could possibly try and loan him again, but saying that, the only reason we didn't play him last year is because he wasn't our player really. Could we possibly put Ozturk in as part of the player swap? As we say, Ozturk, so we've only got 4 centre backs though, so maybe we do need actually 5 centre backs. Probably isn't too many really. Yeah, I think if we just go in for a straight fee, I'm going to go in for a low offer to start with and just offer say 1.5, see what they say to that. 2.2 they want, so say 1.7. $1.8, I accept that. So 1.8 is not too bad, but again it's going to come down to his wages. So he's on 21.5, and obviously Bristol are in the Championship, so I can't see how he's going to really drop his wages in half really. So I think the most we can really push to is say 13, possibly 15 to push, but I think that is even pushing it a little bit. So would we give him, try and offer a rotation? I think he's going to want a crucial. It does. So if we try important, yeah, he does want crucial, so I think he's going to want a lot of money here. You say 4-year contract, Obviously he is 27. Just don't want that either. So if we offer 3, should take 3, and he does. So they're not asking for a release clause. That's fine. See if he gives me an idea. He doesn't. So as I say, I think maybe if we're going at 12, I think 12's probably as much as we really want to pay. So if I say 12 and offer a signing fee of probably 50 grand and see what it says to that. Obviously if we walk straight out, then we know they're wanting a lot more money than we're willing to pay. Oh, he's come back for not a lot more really. So if we counter, I think we want to edit the bonus. No, maybe just remove the bonus. And then signings, obviously we're looking at, so if we go down to 12 and a half, and the signing bonus of 105. So it still wants the 13, so counter again. So 13, I don't think that would be too bad. 13. Take 13,000 a week, and he does. So a weekly wage 13,000. I don't think that's too unrealistic. Obviously we've got Major around the £10,000 mark, so I think obviously a championship club, you're probably looking easily around that kind of mark. So now the next player is Declan John. So again his wages are 14 grand, so hopefully we can get him for around the same amount. So we approach to buy, so he's saying maybe around 3 million, so his value's 2.3, but they're looking for more. Obviously he was good for us last year, and he's 71 overall, so he's better than 09. So if we look, so his current value, so if we try and offer 2 million, see what they say to 2 million. They're wanting 3 and the sell-on fee as well. We're definitely not looking to sell him, but we definitely don't want to be paying 3 million either, really. We try, say 2.3. So pretty much offer his value. We want to try and get it down to at least, say, about 2.5 really. No, they're going to take some time, so I don't think they'll be dropping his price as much as we'd like, unfortunately. So now Cam, so obviously there is quite a few decent cams. George Honeyman, obviously a former player, and I think he's the one. He's well-rounded, decent in everything he does really. So I think we're going for him. He's cheap as well. Value saying around 1 million. He's on 4,200. So try and bring George Honeyman back to the Stadium of Light. So again, I think we're going for a cheeky bid to start. Maybe just offer 700k. See what they say to that. No, they've walked out. So we'll have to go back in for him and obviously see how Declan John comes about. But yeah, so we've at least got another centre back in. So again, I'm not really. I think Ozturk obviously is looking very unhappy at the minute, so he can probably drop out altogether. And I'm not sure either as well. Obviously, I think we've got to keep Dobson in at the minute just to hope that we can turn that around. So Ozturk now on the bench, and then we've got a choice now whether to possibly play Bailey Wright from the start. I think we have to, really. Even though it's nice having that left-footed player in there, I think Tommy Smith probably coming to the end of his usability, really. So if we look at the weak foot, they both have about the same, so maybe keep Willis where he is. Or do we potentially put Willis out on that left side? No, I think we'll keep it like that. So yeah, we've got one player in, obviously looking for a couple of more. Well, again, I think if Dobson does go, which I think is probably going to happen now, then obviously Honeyman can play, he can be the centre mid as well, he can play the backup cam and centre mid. So we've got a bit of flexibility with Honeyman if we do get Honeyman in. So if we skip to this first game, Cosenza, I'm sure we did sell. Did we sell somebody last season to Cosenza? I'm pretty sure we did. So we may be coming up against one of our former players straight away. So we have got another offer in, or a couple of offers in here. Yeah, so Declan John, they've come back with another, well, pretty much the same amount that we didn't want to accept last time. So we will go in again. I think we offered 2.5, didn't we? So we'll have to increase that again a little bit. So propose new fee. Go 2.75. Hope that we can finally get this over the line. 3.2. So actually going the wrong way at the minute. So propose, say 2.8. Not really budget, so we're going to go in 3 million, just accept it. Finally, they do. So we have got a bid accepted finally for Declan John. So now, as we say, is on 14,000. Let's see if we can negotiate that down a little bit. Again, if we can possibly get him 11 or 12,000 maybe. We'll have him as an important as well. He wants to be crucial, so we'll accept that because Denver Hume it's going to be his backup. And he wants a 2-year contract though, so that's for full, but I don't think we'll get it. Yeah, so we're only going to get him on a 3-year contract, which is a bit disappointing. Disregard the release clause. Again, they've not told us what they want, so I think if we go in at maybe 10, maybe low balling a little bit here. Try 10 just to test it out. Hopefully he doesn't walk away. He wants 11.5. Counter, remove the bonus. And knock the wage down to 11. Accept the signing bonus 100k. Wants that 11.5, so we'll accept that. 11.5 grand a week. I think obviously he played fantastically well for us last season, so I don't think we can grumble at 11.5 grand a week. So we've got the new left back in, so yeah, so that's obviously just the transfer that's done. Lyndon Gooch, we are not going to sell Lyndon Gooch. George Dobson, so Girona. So obviously an Italian team. I'm not sure if they're in the, just reject that. I'm not sure if they're in Serie A or not. So we can go up to 1.6. I'm going to try and negotiate still. Obviously we were negotiating really above to try and put people off before. We're now, I think we just need to try and get as much as we can for him really. So if we propose say 2 million, hope they don't just run away, which they have. So it's going to be difficult. Obviously I don't really want to sell him, but at the same time I don't want to end up getting sacked from the board for obviously not sorting an unhappy player out. I've got another offer in over Dobson. This is from Brentford. So maybe we just have to lower the amount. So maybe 1.8 and see if they'll negotiate from there. Well, 1.75. Not really getting much negotiations out of anybody at the minute, which is disappointing. So 1.6, and you can have him, and they are going to. So Dobson may finally be on the way out. 1.6 million. So, as I say, we are actually going to play possibly not all these games. I think obviously we're going to go out with the youngsters in this first game. We then may sim the second one with the first team because there's only 3 days in between, but then that'll give all the youngsters the time to possibly play in the last game. We'll see how we go. We could play all 3 games and just obviously heavily rotate each time. So we're going to go with our B squad, possibly make a few changes as we go into it. So I think obviously Sonny Layton, we need to give him some game time, so we're happy with him to start. Who else have we got that needs to play really? We've got Peters. Want to get Peters in. Also on the bench really. So Robson we're not going to worry about. Kimbayoka possibly needs to play. Embleton probably needs to be. So we need to find out how good Embleton is going to be. So we'll maybe play Embleton or Allen on the bench for this game. So again, we want to try and play as many youngsters really as possible. I think in our youth team this year as well, we have got a lot more defensive cover as well. So Tommy Smith, yeah, he's okay with Ozturk. Baldwin, obviously we haven't played with, so possibly bring him on as well later. Yeah, so I think we'll go with that team. Obviously gives Danny Loader a game up front. It gives us a chance to see some of the younger players, just see how they're gonna feel. Obviously, if they're gonna be quite dead early on, it's not maybe better to get rid of them now rather than putting a year or so into trying to make them better, just to obviously then realise that they're not good enough to play for us. So we kick off. Obviously, money-wise, it would be better if we actually get somewhere in the group, but it's not the be-all and end-all. I think prize money's only, I think it was about 2 million, so it's not going to be making big differences to us at this point in the season. Oh. Struggling to get the ball at the minute. And Rivera, fortunately, has took that out. Ozturk, Smith, obviously, the older statesman really in this team. So Laverno have taken a lead in the other game in this group. So we're not going to touch the ball at the minute really. Peters has got back and done well. So our scout future star. So obviously we could, I think, potentially will use another scout future star in this second season, and that will be it. We won't use any more. That's well in. Danny Loader flicks it back. It's Button, and it's been taken down. It's going to be a penalty. Button got his shot off, but got collected as he took it, as he hit it. He's taken out quite badly there. So who's going to step up? Looks like it's going to be Danny Loader. Sends the keeper the wrong way. First goal in pre-season. It's Danny Loader that gets it. 16 minutes in. So I do think, obviously, with some game time and some training, I think Danny Loader's really going to progress a lot this season. So he's still relatively low rated, only 66 rated at the minute. And stamina wise, I don't think he's good enough to play the full game. So he'll be a good backup for Madger, and potentially could play in that camp still, but I think mainly he's going to be backup striker, obviously playing the reserve team and then come off the bench as well to inject a bit of pace late in games. That's a good cutback. It's smuggled away and then almost given away there by Denver Hume. We'll have to potentially look at our training regimes as well. Obviously we need to change things around a little bit. good ball over there. Hume is coming, cut inside him well. Oh, and they've got it over there. Keeper has gone down. Oh, and he's still trying to battle away. And Smith, Wagnerman in the end, has slammed it away. Defensively, we're all over the place. Oh, he's done well again to go by, but fortunately they're letting us off. Really, not playing well. Into Alexander. Go away to Allen. Allen, it's not really sure where we were trying to play there. So we've not had much from a lot of the youngsters really. I'd say Peters has been the only one that's really shone in this game. Wagnerman's not covered himself in too much glory as well, really. Peters again, Allen. Back to Joshua Wagnerman here. We'll get this in early. It's a good ball, and defender almost knocked it into his own net for us there, but it is a 1-0 win. So it's a good enough start for us in this pre-season. But as you can see, we didn't really have much of the ball or have many shots in that game, so I think we will. So we'll simulate with the first team, hopefully get a good result in this second game. And we do 3-1. Madja, Gooch and Power picking up goals, so already that should really mean that we have qualified, you would think. So Dobson has gone to Brentford, so obviously we don't get the additional money, but we get 1.2 go into our budget. So if we have a quick look at the squad, so Barley Mumba, we've got to give Barley Mumba some more game time than I would think. So Peters. So I think that's going to be our first team. Obviously we're going to look picking up George Honeyman as well, so can we actually we'll go back in for Honeyman yet? Looks like we can. So I think we'll go in with an offer of $1 million and see where we go from there. And they're going to take that $1 million straight away. So again, he's not on much money. He's on 4,200. If we can keep his wage around that mark, I'll be happy with that. And it'll be a like for like, really. Obviously, we just sold Dobson for 1.6, so we're getting Honeyman for $1 million. So it's pretty much fine, really. So we'll try and get rotation. I don't think he's going to be happy with that. He's looking for important, which is fine. Go for a 5-year. Obviously, he's only 25 still. Looking for 3, so we'll get 4 years for him. Disregard Release clause is not coming with a wage again, so I think if we offer 3.5 with a 50 grand signing fee, so they're wanting 6.4, so 6,400, so that's actually a lot more than I was expecting. So 5 goals. So if we edit the bonus, if we change that to 10, I'll be happy to give him that. Sign. So wages, what we need to knock down a bit. If we can knock that down to 5, keep the signing bonus as it is, and see what it comes back with that. So he's wanting 6. Edit that again. I want to get him 10 goals. We'll be okay with that. Yep. So George Honeyman coming back to the Stadium of Light. So he's on 6 grand a week, and I think that's fine. That's a good amount. So maybe sing with the first team again. Just get us into the knockout stages. This is a defeat. Danny Loader missing a penalty in the 88th minute, which would have got us the draw, but we will go through to the semis. We're going to be playing Hercules. So if we start the match again, bit of prize money gives some players a bit of game time. Obviously, I think Peters obviously was a bit. So Peters and Loader obviously probably the best 2 players in that first game we played. So the fact that they come out gives 2 of us a chance to see how they go. Well done by Van der Water there. It's turned away from Kimbayoka well. So it gives Will Grigger a chance to try and stake a claim for a bit of game time, really, because he's looking like he potentially could be another one that's a bit of an odd man out, along with Duncan Watmore. Jackson is unlucky, he couldn't get that ball through there. Probably should have looked to lifted it over the top. So again, there's young players looking for game time, and then there's also the more established players who perhaps won't be getting the game time that they would hope for. So that's well played. Wagnerman came over and helped out though. Hume now into Alexander. Alexander, it's a good ball. Archie Jackson cuts in on that left foot. Can't get his shot off in time. But it's given away to Kimbayoka here. 2 shots at it. Still going. Couldn't get the ball over. So Harrison did actually have a couple of good games. So he's definitely playing himself into getting some game time, and obviously the fact that he can play several positions, really, that versatility he does have. The fact that he can play on the wing and more centrally does bode well for his versatility. Wagnerman, it's a good ball. It's a good chance, and the keeper's done well to tip it away. So it's well picked out. Decent enough shot, not quite into the corner. We'll power this in, but it's easily headed away the near post. Kept in there by Barley Mumba. Teasing ball for Jackson, but just couldn't get there for the defender. Ozturk into Wagnerman. Barley Mumba. Nice play here, Archie Jackson. Goes back to Jackson now. He slams it in, Archie Jackson. I think we've seen how deadly this boy is in front of goal. Last season he scored us a few goals. Number 24. Again, I'm not sure he's quite ready to be our starting cam, but I think definitely off the bench he can definitely give us something. So I do think Honeyman will probably take that starting cam position, and also obviously maybe in simulated games Archie Jackson's good because he's higher rated, so when it comes to sim games he could possibly take first team games. Oh, and he's got through. It's well blocked, but we're definitely giving away too many chances at the minute. Oh, and he's worked away here. Still going, Kimbayoka. I should have passed it off earlier. Barderman gets the ball knocked off there. Oh, it's a good ball, surely, and it's wasteful again. I'm looking to Watmore. Go back to Watmore here. Again. Can't keep hold of this ball. Oh, it's a good ball through, surely this time. And it has gone in. Leighton gets a big hand to it, but cannot keep it out. And it's disappointing. 90th minute goal, but it had been coming for a long time. We were giving the ball away. What more now? Trying to get through to Allen, but he can't hold on to it. So close to getting through to the final, but it's going to be now extra time. Oh, it's gone straight to penalties, in fact. So we are going to go straight into penalty shootout. Oh, it's straight down the middle. Dived out of the way. Well, Greg at best. Penalty taker is straight away. Had one saved, but they have put it wide. We'll go to the right side. Duncan Watmore gets his goal. Oh, and they've put another one wide. So these are not the best penalty takers. And he's hit it off the bar. What is he doing? Oh, and again, straight down the middle. Diving out of the way. Oh, and not the best penalties. Oh, and he's put it away, so that is now going to put pressure on us here. It's going to be the youngster Allen. And he's at the post. So it was a minute away from going through to the final, and we've ended up losing in the penalty shootout. But yeah, so obviously we already know about Archie Jackson. I would say Peters is looking a really good prospect. I didn't really see a lot with the rest, to be fair. I think Wagnerman was not as good as I've had in other saves. Alexander as well, Harrison Alexander, he's good, but obviously we had him from last season. He's played plenty of games already for us. And the other semi-final also went to a penalty shootout, so. But yeah, so that'll be the end of this episode. Obviously next time out so if you just have a look at the prize money, so we got 720,000 for getting into the semi-final. But yeah, so that'll be the end of the episode. Obviously next time we'll come back and we'll actually be getting into the championship season. We start home against Nottingham Forest. Busy month as well of August, so but yeah, we'll come back next time. Thank you for watching.